doesn't get much better than that, everybody. Welcome to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa, the Big Blend mother-daughter travel team and publishers of Big Blend magazines. You just heard Cry, the very first track from the album Be Kind. It's a debut album by Borgo. You can go to borgo-band.com. That's B-O-R-G-O. And we're super excited to have Brian-Bourgault, I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, join us on the show today to talk about the album, his music. This album, you have to go and get it. It's out. Go get it now. Again, borgo-band.com, because it has a little bit of everything. That song right there, I feel like I was dancing in the grass with my friends out in Julian at a festival. Like, I listen to that, it just kind of takes me back to every music memory. And welcome Brian-Bourgault. Should I call you Brian or Bogo? Borgo, which would you prefer? And I want to hear about the name Borgo.
Let's have it a little bit of both.
Okay, I like that. So, Brian, for now, did I get the last name right? Bourgault.
Yeah,
You were trying to.
sounded good. I mean, no one says it that way in the United States. Everybody just says borgo. So just like the phonetic spelling of it that I'm using, it's pronounced the same way.
See now, your dad had a big influence on you putting this album together, right? And
he did. I mean, an influence on me getting involved in playing music in the first place. When I was very young, he played in bands. He played guitar and sang. So I think we all want to do what our dads do at some point. Usually that changes, but.
Well, for me, it's about my mom, and then I
there you go, yeah.
Her as an artist and nature person, But the music thing, I think your album has every, Nancy and I were talking about this. We were playing it and pissing off some neighbors because we had to play it really loud, but they're probably really happy now that we did that for them.
And we were dancing.
But I want to tell you that one of my favorite albums is The Last Waltz. And when I first heard Cry and going through your album, there's like this side of this that this is when I knew. And as soon as I put Cry in, I was like, oh, this is it. I'm home. This is like a new Last Waltz album. And I know you know that album, right? You've got the band in you.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I always get the dreaded, what does it sound like question. And that's one of the, I usually throw out the band, Van Morrison, Joe Cocker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Elton John.
So it's definitely that era, that genre, that very bluesy rock and roll, soulful bluesy rock and roll, and then the production. I think there's a lot of piano, a lot of electric piano, a lot of horns, a lot of organ. So just the production alone definitely brings you back to that time.
You said the dreaded question.
Yeah.
And I have to. I'm going to go in your corner here because as a wildlife artist, when people go to an art exhibit and they look at my paintings, it was like, well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? That's not exactly how the animal looks to me. I'm like, you're a hunter.
Yeah.
I can already tell because you got the bullseye between the eyes. And that's not how I see animals and nature as a bullseye
to
destroy. I see it as this animal did this, it turned this way, it looked a little bit different, and that's what I want. I want the real life experience.
Your music has that. Yeah.
And as we're playing your music, I see all kinds of things. I could go party, I could go nature.
Happy.
I could go,
happy.
But what I'm doing, I want to use a South African thing. It's a lekker jaw.
Yeah, party. It's a party. That's what I said. Like, I felt like you could go barefoot with your music.
Yeah. You could go real.
Yeah, barefoot.
Everybody take their shoes off.
And whatever else you want to take off. I mean, let it all
and all of it. Why stop?
Yeah, it's true, but it's about real feeling, and you have some ballads in there. You also have just, I don't know, it just really hits you in your soul, and I think that's where the funk and the groove, and at the same time, you feel happy, and then you feel all these other feelings too, and it takes you home. That's it. Takes you home.
Awesome. That's a good thing to hear.
Yeah, it really
I
does.
mean, I think that just the whole story coming in, leading up to the album, has a lot of impact on that. I wrote a lot of songs for the album, having just come back to writing songs again after 10 years of not writing songs. And I had a lot that was ready to come out. And a lot of the songs that I wrote didn't make it on the album, but there was definitely a wide variety of styles there. So I kind of picked the 12 that fit together the most, and that's the album.
You have an amazing album out there for me. It's like I just like, okay, road trip. That's how we gauge it. It's like this is you. When you hear an album and it makes you want to go on a road trip, that's it. That's the album, and we.
Where would
how
you
we
go?
Grade them. Oh, right now? Well, at this point now, I feel like I want to kind of go east, which we are doing this year. We're going to go up Natchez Trace up to Nashville, and we're going to go, I don't know, I feel more swampy with you. I want to go over bridges. I want to cross bridges.
No, I have to go.
I know you're in a mile high up in Denver, but I want to cross bridges.
I have to go right back to Africa. There's something about those dirt roads with no stop signs, obstacles. Go as fast or slow as you dare and see what's out there. I would totally go right back to Africa.
Yeah. Where would you go with your album? Where are you going?
Oh my God. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Where am I going? Oh my God. Maybe to Europe. I think Europe.
Ooh.
Canada even is kind of. Canada's been popping up. Maybe road trip up the East Coast into Toronto.
You know what? Canada is like this big unknown for people in the States where we border. Well, no. Well, I've been there, but we border it, but it's kind of been in like the background for a long time. It's a beautiful country.
I hear your music in forest land. I see like the Banff Jasper area. I see you got forest in your music. That's
Portland,
cool.
maybe the Pacific Northwest.
Ooh, yeah. I like this.
Portland, we're coming for you.
Ooh. I think that's a good place.
Like it.
So now we watched your video of Serenade, and I love the song Serenade. Maybe we'll play it on this show today, but tell us about playing that, and who is playing on the album with you?
Yeah, that song, well, I'll start. That song I wrote quite some time ago, actually, when I was in Amsterdam. I spent 5 months in Amsterdam, late 2002 to 2003. And when I was in Amsterdam, part of why I was there, I was going to focus on writing material for an album that I intended to record when I got back to Denver. But when I came back, I got diagnosed with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease. I started losing the strength in my hands. So that's another story. Never recorded that album. But that song was written back then, Serenade. And I reworked it a little bit. And the players on the album are Carl Sorensen is playing drums. He's in a great band called Dragon Deer. The engineer, studio worker, co-producer, bass player, Mark Benning. And guitars, Dan Schwint. And on the keys, Eric Deutsch. He plays with Leftover-Salmon. He's a huge inspiration to me. He's like a musical monster. Anyways, he's playing keys. And on sax, there's a little bit of sax on that song, is Dwight Bement. He is an old family friend of Mark's, and he used to play in Gary Puckett and Union Gap Band back in the late 60s. And he's awesome. He's a super cool guy and great sax player. So yeah, that's who's playing on that song. And I mean, pretty much all the tracks on the album. So I decided to include that as one of the singles leading up to the album's release. And I wanted to do a video release, a video single. So I picked that song and we shot it here at my house. And it was fun.
Right. I love it. The song is like, it's beautiful. Do you want us to play it? Can we play it now? Is that cool with you?
You can play it now. Yeah, that would be great.
I love it. Everybody's got to hear this. And everybody, again, the album, Be Kind. By the way, that's
so love that.
Can we make that into bumper stickers for everybody? Can we go back and?
I'm sure someone already has. I like a day doesn't go by that I don't hear or see that in a headline, or it just kind of is the motto of our age, it seems like, and that's good. It's a good motto. And I didn't realize that at the time that I was making the album. So it's good. It's timely.
It's a good title.
It's really timely.
It's very timely, but I think bumper stickers, and I don't know. I want bumper stickers. I don't know if people are doing. And they are kind of, but like, if I was going to do a bumper sticker, it'd be like my fingers and dirt on my car because it's all dirty.
I have an idea. How about at the end of everybody's email signature, they say "Be kind."
All right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, here it is, everybody. Serenade. Take a listen, and we will chat with Brian in a second.
In my tongue-tied way, forget what you know, and believe what I say, baby. I give scars, but you gave them to me. Try to believe, but don't stay mad forever. Come find me and let my love set you free. Baby, I give you my heart. You got me, whatever you need. Take me forever, do with me whatever you please. Yeah. To put you away, it's not pride, maybe just jealousy, at a time when trust is what we need. Baby, I give you my heart. Don't let you take it from me. Make me surrender. Take from me whatever you need. Yeah.
Blend Radio, and you just heard Serenade, and that is off of the album Be Kind, the debut album by borgo-band. So go to borgo-band.com, and it's really Brian, and so happy to have him on the show today. And you know that tugs at your heartstrings, and Brian, I think it's got that just old school R&B where it's like, you know, guys are getting down on their knees and feeling it, and and class. You know, there's that. You know,
I have to
add
something quick to my. I have to add something to my when I was talking about who performed on the track, and I
go ahead.
failed to mention Kim Dawson and Tanya Shylock, who do all the harmony vocals. Those gorgeous, soaring female vocals that you hear on pretty much every song. But yeah, Kim Dawson and Tanya Shylock.
And they bring that old school vibe in, like that old school.
I love that sound.
That, you know, I just like I miss that sound, and that's what I think is your album brings such a. It's like it's comforting, and it brings up so many memories for so many people.
It's comfy, but it's different.
And different, yeah.
Because
new,
it asks
fresh.
Different questions.
Mhm. It
like
makes
this song was like it asks a question that you have to ask yourself, or you know, if you're brave enough, ask somebody else.
It's harder to ask yourself.
Mhm.
Just saying. You know, so Brian, putting the album together, this was not an easy thing. You decided, okay, I'm going to do this, and at the time, knowing, hey, you weren't performing anymore, and decided, okay, I'm just going to do this, and you made this decision to not stop. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I just found myself with a lot of free time. I'm on disability. I have been for 2 years now, and the first year was just kind of adjusting to that, you know, my physical disability and just the new lifestyle, really, to put it one way.
Yeah.
And then I decided, man, I was like, I've got all this free time. I need to find something that I can do with it. And when I was playing music, writing music, it was always a struggle between, you know, for time for that, time for a job, time for, you know. And now I was like, well, I've got all the time I want to make music, so I need to figure it out. And that's when I, you know, started messing around on my computer and discovered that I could write a song on my computer without having to play any instruments. And it's really cool. I like it. Like, even if I could play an instrument, I think I would compose this way. So
really? That's
I did it, and I wrote a bunch of songs, and then I put a band together, and we recorded it in October of last year.
That's amazing, because you guys had to do it. You moved and you did it pretty fast. It wasn't like you know, hey, we're going to take a year recording this. We're going to get in there and get it done. Yeah,
I mean, everybody stayed there. It's kind of like a residential retreat, recording studio. And we all stayed there, and we recorded every day. I mean, we got everything tracked in 3 days. And then we did vocal overdubs.
A lot.
And then I came back
and the album
on a separate. Yeah.
Really? Because it sounds so live to me. It feels like
while it is live,
in the room.
The drums, bass, guitar, and keyboards were all recorded live to tape. And then we came back and did the horns and vocals. Cry actually is all live. The horns were in the room with us playing. It's all totally. Even my vocal track is my first take scratch vocal track. So that's just a totally live song, except for the harmony vocals, females. They came in after. But yeah, that's the feel that we were going for sure.
Well, you feel it. I mean, to me, I feel like I'm in a show, and it's like it's all encompassing. As soon as I heard about your music, I went and pushed play, and I was like, oh my God, bring him, you know, get him on the show, because this is so incredibly good, because it reaches all ages. This is music that everyone can hear and feel something, and I think that's the important thing, is that people feel something and, you know, start to reflect or just feel good, or, you know, think about something different. You know, that's art, right? And for me, I was like, this is incredible too, that now you're writing it on a computer. And you hear people like say, don't write on a, you need, don't type, write it handwritten, otherwise you're losing part of that creativity. But I think you kind of blow that right out of the water. You're taking it and saying, hey, we can do this alternative. We don't have to stop. We can do something. And I think that's a really big deal to let people know there's always an alternative.
Right, yeah. I mean, if you want anything bad enough, I mean, I'm sure there are, of course, exceptions to this. But if you want anything bad enough, you can make it happen, more or less, But, yeah, I suppose this is an example of that. And it's not, I mean, it's a fun thing to do. It's not like I'm teaching myself how to do something that I don't enjoy doing. It's easy to learn to do it when you enjoy it, you know what I mean? And this is like the ultimate thing that I enjoy that was taken away from me for 10 years, and now I've got it back. So it's, I'm trying to keep that momentum going.
I think that's awesome.
Because I think that's where I like listening to the album. That happy, like I said that earlier. There's happiness in this, and I feel that there's a feeling of freedom. Did you feel that when you were recording it and putting it together?
Yeah, probably was some freedom of, I think it was just a feeling of feelings of completion. And
you did it.
I know the kind of the vibe you're talking about. And I think that comes from, selecting the tracks that are going to be grouped together on an album too. And, the overall like theme of it, the whole Be Kind theme, the title track, Be Kind of is a standalone song, doesn't really sound much like the rest of them, but that kind of overall theme of being kind and acceptance and basically living is the kind of
So
thing
I know
that
that
pulls
you
it all
worked in
together.
a music store. Did you work in a music store where you were doing albums, or was it instruments, or both?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
I know
Did
you
I work
worked in a music store? Yeah, tell us about the music store. Was it albums or was it?
I worked in a music store, and then I opened a music store when I moved back. When I came back to the States after being in Amsterdam, 2003, end of 2003, I opened Curtis Park Music, which was musical instruments. So I would buy and resell a lot of vintage guitars, amplifiers, pretty much anything that people brought in to sell. So I had a storefront. I lived in the back of the storefront, and I had a rehearsal space there too. And I got diagnosed with this disease a year after I opened. And a year or two after that, I had lost enough strength in my left hand that I really couldn't play guitar anymore. So that I closed that business. And that's when I totally walked away from music.
That's
2007, yeah. Yeah.
And how did you turn it around? Because that's 10 years ago, or 11 years now. How did you turn it around and get through daily living?
I just had to do what I knew how to do. So I got a job working in a kitchen, and I did that for 5 years. I still had my right hand, and then that started to go. And so I had to leave that work as well. And so then it was basically, well, what can't I do? So I was like, I can do sales. A buddy of mine was working for a solar company, so I started doing that. And that was cool for 3 years, but that was an outside sales job. And driving started to get too sketchy. So I had to, so I left that. And then when I left that was when I went on disability.
Wow. I mean, it just you keep going forward. You have to, no matter what life throws at you. And the song "Whiskey Above the Fridge."
Yeah.
Just even the title, like just the title, and then it has this like country vibe, like old school country vibe.
Can you see you know what I'm talking about? Like you go to every one of your friends in college had a bottle of Jack Daniels on top of their fridge. Like
no clue
when you're in
about
college. No, but that's like everybody's makeshift whiskey cabinet, liquor cabinet is the top of their fridge. At least it was in the Midwest where I went to college.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a good visual. I mean, and that that song just kind of happened. I mean, it wasn't like I sat down and planned out the lyrics. I don't know that that line, I must have a sign on my door that says thank you, come back again. That was really the song, and then the rest of it just kind of were words to put between the times when I said that.
Yeah.
But
you know.
yeah. And yeah, I have a pretty strong like country background. I did the whole like all country thing for quite a time. And I love good country music. I mean, I love melodic, hooky music, and that's what country is.
Well, that's what's interesting, because I was wondering. That's why I was asking you about your music store background. Was as soon as I listened, I'm like, this guy knows music. Like, he knows music. I don't think I could ask. I could bet you now that I could ask you a question about some band somewhere, and you're going to know the answer, kind of person, like, or know the vibe or whatever. And I just,
as long as it's at least 20 years old.
I just was like, he's a music geek. He gets it. Like, but in the heart and soul style, you know. And I was like, you know how to listen. And that was the thing. It's like you understand what people need to hear. I don't know if that sounds weird, but it's true. It's like you can tell by people's music what they create, how they listen, or are you making something because you're told to, or is it art? And at the same time, understand and bring that heart and soul. I know that sounds weird. I'm not making it make sense, but as soon as I heard your music, I was like, you get it. You get it. And I'm like, you get this full cycle that has happened in music. And I don't know, it's just a very full circle album to me. Like, there's a freedom to life and everything we were talking about earlier. But that's a very full circle. Like, for me, listening to the album takes me through my entire life span as a kid to now, what I heard as a kid to now.
Yeah.
And yet it's very, very fresh. And I think that when someone takes those sensibilities, those sensitive moments in music, what makes you stop and listen and understand those stops, that's important.
Awesome. Good.
You know?
I mean, that's everything that I could hope for you to say.
Okay, good, because I have made some sense somewhere on that. Because it's just, you feel it in your heart, and you just go like, damn, I have all these memories, and it's like all those things as a kid, and I want kids now to hear your music, to hear that, and understand that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, I would call it, for me personally, the wait a minute moment, where you hear something. And you might be busy, you might be driving, but you hear something on the radio, or you hear a record or whatever you hear. It's a wait a minute moment. But wait a minute, you need to pay attention here. For me, a wait a minute moment is precious. It's like stop, listen before you cross the street. But just stop and listen and go, wait a minute.
It's a stop short, man.
Yeah, no, it's a signal, a red flag, not in a bad way, but a thing that says, hold on a minute. I know we're all busy. Yeah. Breathe. We're all busy, but we need to slow down in this country. We're on like this railroad of, I don't know, how many miles per hour we really want to go? Seriously? Just slow the heck down. Stop. Listen. And regroup in your mind. Who are you? What are you doing? What are you listening to? And why are you here?
How do you feel about that now? Where you're
slowing down?
Life. Yeah.
I've got two speeds, slow and really slow. Oh my God, slow. But at the same time, I mean, I'm also like a frantic, obsessive person. When I'm into something, when I put my mind to something. So right now it's like I'm trying to keep things going. There was a huge build up to the release, and then there was a release show. And now it's just like now it's kind of anticlimactic. You're like, oh, I gotta keep this going. So I've got a lot of new music written, and I'm going to record that this year, and I'm trying to trying to get it out there. I don't play a lot live. I don't play a lot live, so it's kind of like I'm trying to think of alternative ways to get the music out there. Right now, my mind is really on licensing, synchronization, and like film and television. I want to try to get my music. I think a lot of it's great soundtrack music. It would be cool in like some indie films.
I agree because I think that's like when we say road trip, it's like because
when we say road trip music,
we have to drive across Texas all the time. So like you have to carry us there, and an album carries you there, and it takes you on journeys, beyond. And the road is good, and you want to sometimes match the music to the trees or the dirt or whatever. But and there's moments of that, and it's awesome. But there's moments where it's like, Jesus, am I there already? Okay. And you need someone who just can do it, take you there.
Can I just tell the truth? There's moments when you want the other person to shut up and just listen to the music.
It's so like music like yours. It's like everybody just shut up. Everyone can listen. Road trip music is so essential to a road trip. I can't even tell you how it is. Pass the miles by. Okay, we've discussed everything. Yeah. Now, can we just listen? I know, but that's the thing.
And you got to plan it out because you hit those stretches where there's no radio, so you're kind of in trouble.
Or
you got to bring it home. You got to have a playlist.
Typical radio station that does their thing over and over again, and you have to hear Hotel California over and over.
Millions friggin' times.
Hard to see. I want to ask you about this because it got into this like reggae vibe, and it's like it kind of has this. There was this old school time of Peter Tosh, like that just kind of came in and didn't like I don't know, but
Tosh
it has
and the
that
Stones.
kind of,
I mean, Tosh and the Stones were like, married. So this has a reggae vibe to it, but I'm not like singing with a Jamaican accent.
No, you're not.
I'm not trying to do reggae.
It's like an undercut.
It's like the Stones do reggae. It's like it's that kind of reggae.
Yeah, I like this.
It's like baking a new cake.
Yeah, because you have
totally
everything.
Different
I like that. I know, and here's it's like every song is a new pancake flavor. This is the cool thing about your album. Bitter Root. Okay, let's talk about this. Bitter Root. Now that gets Stonesy, and I love this song. Tell us about Bitter Root because it's almost like someone like, here, drink this tea.
It started. I mean, it was all built around. I wrote that when I was still playing guitar too, so that's an old song. And it started out with the guitar riff, the down 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 down, and it's now an electric piano does it on the intro. That riff, that's kind of what the song was built around, and then the lyric was just bitter root. To me, was like, that first lyric is, you stick out your tongue, I'll bite right through to the bitter root. It's just kind of getting to the heart of the matter, basically. And just, speaking straight, not mixing words. And that's kind of the general vibe of the lyric and of the song. It's kind of got a punk rock attitude to it.
We should put that on every radio show. It's like, just kind of a warning to people coming on this guest. Sorry, no offense. Just saying because it's true. Can we play it to like politicians and stuff? Can we do that?
Sure. Play it to everybody. Play it to everybody you know.
Okay, we're gonna play it now. Everybody, here it is. Bitter Root. Again, the album Be Kind, and go to borgo-band.com. It's BORGO, borgo-band.com.
Bitter root.
You're listening to Big Blend Radio, and you just heard Bitter Root again. It's off of the album Be Kind. Go to borgo-band.com and go get it. And we're so happy to have Brian sit in with us here today. And it's been such a pleasure, such a conversation. And the music, I just want to say I don't want to sound like ABBA, but thank you for the music, because we're so glad that you sat down at the computer and said, I'm not giving up, I'm going in there. And I think that's such a good message for our youth as well, to no matter what, anybody, don't let an obstacle get away from you. Just move forward, and there's always a way.
Yeah.
And I think that's, to me, knowing that you wrote this and did things on a computer and it comes out with this soulful music, I think you've transformed music that way.
No, it stands there. No matter how you did it, it stands there.
It's there. It doesn't matter, And it's like, that's amazing to me, because I don't know if people get that.
But I do have to say that you remind me of Eric Burden. I have
attitude
to go there.
For sure.
Yeah, I just have to say that. Sorry if you take it as a compliment or not, but
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's a positive light on that. Yeah,
there's a definite attitude.
Yeah,
of, I will.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Thank you.
And yeah, and your voice has that too. Like, you just have that, like, boom. This is how it is.
I think
Conviction. Yeah. Did you always sing, or was it guitar first?
Well, I mean, kind of both hand in hand together.
It all just happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, except for like high school, I played. Mostly it was guitar. Learning all the heavy metal lead power chords, and then I don't think I really started exploring singing until I was in my early 20s, when I shifted from learning cover songs to writing my own material, and that's when I started singing.
And also, what about writing your own things? I mean, it's like, do you read music? Did you write it that way, or like? I
read music like no. I mean, I can look at music and read it, but I can't like sight read. I'm not quick. I understand it, but it's not like something I can do super fast. But when I compose on the computer will transcribe the songs for me, which is nice. I can give that to players who can then play parts. And I try to leave room for improvisation as well. So.
No, that's awesome.
Because you have these harmonies, you have these horn sections, and you have so much going on that it's like, and it's harmonious. It's all united. It's that's what I'm saying. It's just so amazing. You would never think that this is how it's done, and a lot of people wouldn't think that. Yeah, you can make really badass music off of a computer, and it's about just changing the platform, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, well, I just had to bring that. I mean, as far as composing it, for sure. I mean, I had to bring in the live musicians to get the sound and feel that they brought to the project, and that's, certainly why it sounds the way it does. But as far as composing, you can certainly compose music that sounds this way on a computer. Yeah.
So now, Red Light Shakedown, did that come from Amsterdam Times? I'm just guessing.
Yeah, that was another one written there. Yeah, you might have guessed that.
Yeah, no, good. Thank you so much. It's just been such a pleasure. And a young musician comes up to you and says, like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into music. What would you say to them?
Do it. I mean, you got to do it. Yeah, learn. I mean, it depends. I mean, there's so many different things. There's so many different ways that you could be involved with music. I mean, do you write? Do you want to be just a player? Do you want to be the guy that plays in 10 different bands because he's so good everybody wants him to play? And do you want to try to make a living as a studio musician, a session player? Are you a songwriter? Are you a performer? Like, there's so many different avenues to explore. But yeah, if that's what your interest is, then of course you should do everything you can to make it happen.
Okay, last question. The lyrics. Where did that start for you? Because that's some badass goodness.
Yeah, I think in college I took a lot of poetry classes, and I think that just allowed me to discover that I had some sort of, ability to put words together in a certain way that people seem to like. So, putting music to that is all it is. My lyrics are never, I shouldn't say never, they're rarely literal. I mean, it usually just starts with like a verse that I start singing while I'm brushing my teeth or doing the dishes, or like just just like a phrase pops into my head along with a melody. And then from there, I just start painting a picture. I mean, I don't sit down and go, I'm going to write about this person in my life at this time and these things that we did. Like, I don't write that way. There's a lot of people that write literally about things that happen. It's pretty obscure, but it tells a story. It's not abstract. Yeah. So I don't know. That's
because people get to have
the lyrics
their own
are not
people,
something.
Yeah.
Lyrics aren't something that I spend a lot of time on. Like, I don't sit down and like labor for like weeks over the lyrics to a song. The lyrics to all of my songs pretty much happen in like an hour or two.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
And if I gotta work on them for longer than that, I usually just move on. It's not meant to be.
Yeah, because I think that gives the listener the freedom to make it their own. I like that. Because
people ask me, "What's your song about?" I'd rather that they told me. I don't know what it's about to you. Who cares what it's about to me? Yeah.
All I know is when I want to go naked in a field that's good, and that happens. That's it. To me, because that means that you're.
Now, see, if I said that about the song, it would sound pretentious. I wouldn't. So I'm glad you said it.
No, but to me, it's about being free.
If she does it and she gets caught, you're going to get. Yeah. I'm going to talk to you and say it's your fault.
Yeah, and you said so. No, but you're right. I think that's the thing about art versus, this is what you need to say and do. And I think that's this difference. And the important thing is art is art. It's supposed to make you think, and a musician or an artist, a writer.
It's supposed to make you think and readjust your thinking.
Yeah, and it can be anything you want it to be, however you feel it.
Yeah.
Just feel something, damn it. That's it. Feel something. And music like yours totally does, and thank you for that again. We're going to play Be Kind, because that's the title track, and everybody has to hear it. I would love to just sit and play the entire album. This is one of those albums, and then you just get excited. I really get excited every time we have really good new music come in. I'm like, yes, let's do it now. So Be Kind, the title track. Again, go to borgo-band.com, BORGO, borgo-band.com. Any other places people need to go and pick it up? Amazon?
Well, you can get it on iTunes. You can go, Amazon. I mean, pretty much every digital outlet that's out there, you can get it. I mean, you can download it on iTunes. You can go to Bandcamp, and you can order physical copies. I have vinyl. I have records, vinyl, and CDs or digital. Downloads at Bandcamp. Yeah.
Ooh, go to Bandcamp, dudes. Go get some vinyl. We need to keep that going. We got to keep that going. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Again, Big Blend Radio airs Monday through Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Fridays and Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, except for holidays, because guess what? We take a holiday. We're going to play Be Kind, and I'm going to give a shout-out to our sponsor, Spontuneous-Song-Game. The award-winning and best-selling board game. Go to songgame.com. All you have to do is you have one word, and you get to pick out a lyric that goes with that word.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. So if I say, Nancy, what the word is? Mountain. Go.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
See,
that's easy.
Brian, are you game? Are you
nice.
game to play Spontaneous? You okay?
With
I'm
mountain.
Give you a word. Are you ready? Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Give me a word.
You're a mile high. Do you have a word?
Wait, is mountain the word?
Yeah, for you. I'll give you mountain.
Is mountain my word? Oh no, mountain.
Okay, I'm going to give you a different word.
I know the song, but I can't sing it. Go ahead.
Okay, your word is happy.
Happy? Okay. Happy, shiny people. You know the old R.E.M. song.
Yeah.
Happy, shiny people
right
holding hands.
Yeah, I love shiny people. Yeah. Happy.
I like that.
See, that's what your music makes me. So that's why I give you that word.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Okay. Hey, why not? You can do anything. So everybody, songgame.com. So thank you to Spontaneous Rob for sponsoring our music segments, and we just want to keep indie music alive. It's important, and go to all of the websites of every indie musician you can, whether it's Spotify, SoundCloud, all those places, and Bandcamp apparently as well is really important. Most of the musicians are really using that more and more. So Bandcamp again for Bongo Band. So go to bongo-band.com and you'll keep up with that. Why did I say Bongo Band? Where did that come from? I don't know.
I like it. Don't go there.
I know.
Though.
I kind of felt like I know. But Borgo Band, everybody. borgo-band.com. Go there. And here it is. We're going to play Be Kind. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a real pleasure, Brian.
Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah.
You too. Here it is. Be Kind. And it's borgo-band.com.
Be strong for yourself and everyone else. Be strong. Other and be kind. Be kind. Come on. Yeah, come on. Reach out your hand and hold the hand that's reaching out. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, play for each other, play with each other, and be kind. What you say about each other is really a reflection of your mind. Oh, come on. Play with each other and be kind. What you say about each other is really just a mirror of your mind. Oh, come on. You got to be strong. Pay for each other. Find a way to help each other to survive. Make